I was 43 pages into a 90-page reading when my friend Senan, who lives in the UK, gave me the best piece of advice I could have asked for. Remember why you're here. It's the third week, the lulls have started to hit, readings are getting tedious, lectures feel like they're getting longer in some cases, even though the content is interesting and the professor is great, but you have to keep your focus. You have to remember what you're here for, to learn, to study, to get a degree, to become a much more well-rounded person. Remember your reasoning and cling to that, because trust me, it's gonna get hard. And to save you hopefully some trouble when you get here, I've come up with a few handy tips and tricks that I need to remind myself of and that I'd like to remind you of, and hope that they will make your life a little bit easier. Now the first thing is study notes. And there's a siren, because we live in a city you'll never see on screen. I mean, I hope the person is okay. I don't know what's going on. Thanks, mate. Cheers. You don't have to write down everything on a PowerPoint, because odds are the teacher is going to put that on Canvas anyway. Canvas is the student portal where you can make sure that you get all your files for your classes, your readings, your announcements, all of that. Take notes on what the lecturer says, not what's on the PowerPoint. Because oftentimes, if they say something like, it's important to note, that will come up in your test. I personally like to write everything down because I'm quite a visual learner. I like printing off my PowerPoints, cutting them out, putting them into my notebooks, and then using different colored pens to make arrows and write notes in. Sometimes when I go to lectures and I haven't had access to the PowerPoint, I just take a different notebook and write some really disgusting law notes. Mostly if I'm in law, I'm not going to write law notes in art history, am I? I write mine out. Lots of people use Google Docs. We've had a few arguments about it. If you're in a burning building, would you go back to save your notes? Blah, 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 blah. Do what works for you. I like things that look cool. People like Google Docs. You're allowed to. You do you. But make sure you're using your notes. The next thing is know your deadlines. Your professors will put up all of your assignments and the fact sheets about them onto Canvas, so as soon as you see those, print them out, chuck them up, highlight the heck out of them if you want. Just make sure you know when things are due, because oftentimes they pile up and you don't want to be there a week before going, we had an assignment? Oh no! Mickey Mouse voice. And it also helps you plan if you want to have a bit of a social life, plan your social calendar or your extracurricular calendar around when your deadlines are or aren't. Next up, get yourself into a routine. Trust me when I say this, routines make your life so much easier. They take out decision-making time, and once you get started on something, it's really easy to build positive habits. Figure out also what's manageable with the people around you. Fortunately, the girls in my pod here at O'Rourke all kind of run on different schedules, so we only run into each other if we're brushing our teeth or something like that. We're not like queuing outside for a shower or anything, which was my initial anxiety. Also, if you're in halls, you'll be surprised how quickly you adjust to their set meal times. I used to eat dinner at about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, but no, it's 5:30 now, you go. You are hungry as heck. I briefly touched on this earlier, but I want to make a point of it as something on its own. Prioritize and learn to say no. Over the past couple of weeks, I've had to do a couple of things that I never saw myself ever doing in terms of extracurricular activities. I was cast in a Shakespeare production and I had to decline the role. I'm stage managing another show. I'm trying to get into law school. Self-care is important. Learn to say no. I really just want to hammer home how important it is to manage your time, prioritize, buzzword, 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 because once you've got a routine, you can choose your leisure time and what you do with it. And there's a lot going on in Auckland, so you're bound to find something you love. I really hope that this advice has been helpful or will be helpful in the future, either with high school or with uni or with life in general. So without further ado, I will see you in a couple of weeks. Check out my blog post because it's got a few more little anecdotal things that you might find fun, you might not. Oh well, give it a shot. And I will see you another time. Bye!